Sales, money, YouTube subscribers, and feedback is starting to roll in. And I'm excited to go over everything and talk about it. And my processes around here have been changing daily to make things more efficient. Let's jump into the show. Jumping in right with our overview page. The numbers are better than last week, but they still look bad. As we discussed, this is because I still sold a lot of products from home, zeroing them out, making me even with the house. So these are our numbers for the week. Got a sale every single day, and as you can already see, something's weird on Thursday, and we're going to be talking about that as we go along. My return on investment for the week was 192%. My net profit margin was 28%. My return on investment by source, I found a new small town thrift store called Denim Heart. The one item that sold brought me a lot of return on investment. Goodwill, and then St. Vinny's and Salvation Army and home. Listing by sources this week, Salvation Army takes the number 1 spot with 11. Goodwill takes the number 2 spot. The new thrift store takes number 3. And then it's a mixture of other St. Vinny's and Salvation Armies from there. My average listing by price, a majority of the stuff is less than 20. That's because I got a lot of good deals on stuff. And I told you I like to price things competitively. So I'm making good profit on things that are less than $20. And also the main thing I want to discuss is being an everything seller versus being a niche seller. I've thought about this. I've always determined I was going to be an everything seller. I'm never not going to sell everything. However, I've decided to create what I'm calling a hybrid selling model, where the majority of my listings are going to be men's shirts, t-shirts, polos, and button-ups. And I think that's something that can sustain me all year round, something that's easy to source where I live and keep me going. So a majority of those products are going to be under $20, some of them right under $20. The reason the majority of my listings are below $20 is because it's shirts. My goal of doing 5 listings a week, meaning 35 new listings a week, has not only been met, but it's been broke. At 48 listings this week, I had 15 sales this week. For those doing the math at home, that's more than an average of 2 sales a day, which makes me extremely happy. Over the last week, my average item has taken 6 days to sell in my store. Again, I'm within my first month, so this number is going to be relatively small on average. And then my total spent on inventory this week was $166. Okay, before we jump into this, I'm just going to knock these items out real quick, as it's the same issue as last week where I sold them from home. So everything got zeroed out, so there's no real data on them. Super Metroid sold for $61.05. That's cost of the game plus shipping and handling. WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game on Sega Genesis, sold for $39.95. That's game plus shipping and handling. USS Theodore Roosevelt Challenge coin sold for $17.33. Super Star Wars Trilogy, all 3 cartridges, sold for $41.73. And my old Spalding baseball glove sold for $30.80. Jumping into the 10th sale of the week, it is this Polo Golf Ralph Lauren shirt. It sold for $18.79. That's $11.99 for the shirt, plus $6.08 shipping and handling. My purchase price on this was $4.02. The fixed final value fee was 40 cents. The final value fee was $2.69. Ad fee, because it sold on promotion, was 41 cents. Cost to ship was $5.32, making the net return $5.95, which means it was a return of investment of 148% and a profit margin of 32%. Good enough to be the number 10 spot of the week. Coming in at number 9 is this polo by Ralph Lauren, button-up, short sleeve, blue plaid. It sold for $20.88, $14.98 plus $5.90 shipping. Purchase price again, as we talked about last week, it's $4.02. So when I source for the day, everything I purchase, I total everything up. Then I figure out how many items I got total for the sourcing, and I divide the total I spent for the day by the number of items I got to give all my cost of goods the same purchase, which is $4.02. It allows me to price my products more competitively. And in this scenario, you can see it. The fixed final value fee was 40 cents. The final value fee was $2.91. Ad fee was 40 cents. The cost to ship was $4.38. My net return was $8.73, which was good enough for a return of investment of 217% and a net profit margin of 42%. Finally getting back into that net profit margin where I want to be, above 40. For the number 7 spot, we have this Travis Matthew men's polo, XL, gray short sleeve golf shirt. Golf shirts do great on eBay. I've been selling quite a few of them. Purchase price on this was $402. I accepted a best offer of $15 plus $5.95 shipping for a total of $20.95. Before we get into it real quick, I just want to talk about best offers. I ran into my first time this week where a customer reached out to me with an offer on a product. I accepted it on Wednesday morning, and then they never paid. And after the first day, I was like, okay, are they going to pay? Second day, I said, okay, what do I do in this situation? And I researched it and found out that eBay, after 4 days of the customer not paying for the item, you can cancel the order without incurring any demerits on your account. You can cancel the order before the 4 days, but if you do, you'll get like a black mark on your account. So I was going to wait the 4 days, which was going to be up this morning at 4:30 a.m. And I was actually up at 4:30 a.m. and literally 10 minutes before it was about to expire, the person paid for the product, which is fine. I just thought it was a weird scenario and wondering if you guys have ever ran into anything like that. All right, so the fixed final value fee is 40 cents. Final value fee was $2.89. The cost to ship was $4.43. Net return on the polo was $9.21, which was good enough for a return of investment of 229% with a net profit margin of 44%. Good enough to be our number 7 sale of the week. Number 6 sale of the week is Luke Combs snapback baseball hat. Found this hat at a thrift store and it was brand new, never been worn, still had the cardboard in the rim. My purchase price on that was $4.50. The fixed final value fee was 40 cents. The final value fee was $3.73. The cost to ship was $6.16, which provided me a net return of $11.19, good enough for a 249% return of investment and a 43% net profit margin. Now, this was a great product because this was the first time I sold a hat on eBay. Something you don't think about until sell is how do you ship a hat? My process for this was I got 8x8x6, I believe, box. Then I used packing paper, laid down a base of packing paper, put the hat in, put packing paper underneath the hat to keep the shape. I basically molded the paper to the contours of the hat, and then I used packing paper on top of it so like the hat was suspended in the box, didn't move. That way I knew it wasn't going to get crushed and make it to its destination in the shape that they saw it online, which was brand new. For the number 5 sale of the week, we have this Harley Davidson's men's 5XL black short sleeve button up 105th anniversary shirt. Now, one thing to note about this product is it did have a stain on the left sleeve, a very small stain on the left sleeve. And this is where being honest in sales pays off. You can still sell something that has a stain on it for a profit as long as you're honest about it. Make sure you put in the description, shirt is stained, where the stains are, and then in your pictures, take good pictures of the stains that highlight everything. I had this initially listed for $24. The seller reached out to me and he asked about the stain. He's like, how bad is it? And I literally took extra pictures for him and sent it to him, showing him the size of the stain. He's like, would you take $20 for it? And I'm like, absolutely. So it was $20. It was $10.80 for shipping. Fixed final value fee was 40 cents. Final value fee was $4.39. This did sell on an ad. He did come across my product on an ad, so I owe eBay 66 cents for that. Cost to ship was $6.12, which was good enough for a $12.73 net return, which was a return of investment of 196% with a net profit margin of 40%. And the 4th sale of the week is this Panasonic Reach Easy extendable handheld massager with heat. It sold for $40.37, which is $29.87 and $10.50 shipping and handling. My cost of goods on this one, I did pay up for this, and I bought this 13 days ago. I did pay $15 for it. So I did have to pay up for a bit, but I made a net return of $12.73, which was good enough for a return of investment of 85% and a net profit margin of 32%. For the number 3 sale of the week, we have this Peter Millar Southern Comfort Polo Golf Shirt Men's XL. $402 was the purchase price on this, and it sold on eBay for $26.80, which was I took a best offer of $20 and $6.80 shipping and handling. Fixed final value fee was 40 cents. Final value fee was $3.84. The cost to ship was $5.32, which gave me a net return of $13.22, which was a return of investment of 329% and a net profit margin of 49%. I will say this, getting into my hybrid niche of being men's shirts, you can definitely tell the difference of shirts and like the brand name, they do have quality to the product, and it's so nice working with high-end stuff, like just simply having to photo it because it's so easy to handle, so nice to handle. I really enjoyed this Peter Millar shirt, and obviously after like learning about Peter Millar and how expensive those shirts normally are, but I would wear a Peter Millar shirt. They're that good of quality. And when you're actually working with them to take photos for the listings, they're actually great to work with because they're just easy to handle. It's hard to describe, but you hear people tell you that the sixth sense in reselling is touch, especially when you're going for clothes. And you can definitely tell the difference between brands. And there's some cheap brands that don't sell whatsoever, have no sell-through rate, that feel fantastic. But Peter Millar is a high-end brand. It sells quick. Wonderful product. Number 2 sale of the week and a great thrift store find was this brand new Rawlings Renegade baseball glove, 12-inch Zero Shock Sting Reduction. I found this in a St. Vinny's. It was brand new, did not have tags on it, but it was never used. And I picked this up for $5, and it sold on eBay for $36.58, which was $24.98 for the glove and $11.60 shipping. Baseball gloves, you already saw one earlier on the list, but baseball gloves sell really quick on eBay. If I could get a supplier of just baseball gloves alone for the springtime, you could make a living off that. As soon as I posted this one, I immediately had offers coming in, and I was working through negotiations with multiple people. During those negotiations, somebody just swooped in and paid full price, and I listed it for $24.98. I think I severely underpriced baseball gloves because every time I post them, they sell like crazy. Baseball gloves are fantastic if you're ever out at a thrift store and you see a baseball glove and it's specifically an adult size, 12 inches or better, because it will sell on eBay. And I've sold baseball gloves in every condition, from brand new to decades old that are beat up, and they all go and they're all profitable. And this was good enough to be our number 2 sale of the week at $36.58, $24.98 plus $11.60 shipping and handling with a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $5.14. Cost to ship was $7.16, which was a net return to me for $18.88. Good enough for a 378% return of investment and a net profit margin of 52%. Baseball gloves are fantastic. And the number 1 sale of the week is this Wrangler extra long tails, size 15.5, 34, medium brush popper, snap button, striped cowboy shirt. I found a mom and pop thrift store that I've literally been driving by every day for the past 3 weeks, and I did not know it was there because it's right across the street from the post office whenever I go into town to do my post office drops, and I never knew it was there. And then I just caught it. It caught my eye one day, and I stopped in. It's one of those thrift stores where the highest price thing in the whole store is $2.75. That was men's shirts. And I was so surprised when I got there. And I went through all the shirts, and they had quite a bit of good inventory. A lot of Cutter and Buck golf shirts. But specifically, they had 3 Wrangler snap button dress shirts. 2 long sleeve, 1 short sleeve. The one that was short sleeve, I could tell the material wasn't as good. The other 2, which this is one of them, was very thick, 100% cotton. And when I got into researching, I found out these are what's called brush popper shirts. These are cowboy shirts. Actual cowboys wear these shirts, these vintage Wrangler snap button push brush popper shirts. And I found it in a small town in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And this was the first one I listed. All of them were going for $65 to $75. I put this up on eBay for $55. It wasn't up 10 minutes, and I had somebody give me an offer for $40. I responded back to him and said, $48, let's just split the difference. And as soon as I sent the message, it wasn't 10 seconds later, he accepted the deal. So this sold for $56.60, which was $48 for the shirt and $8.60 shipping and handling, with a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, a final value fee of $8.02. Cost to ship was $6.09, which gave me a net return of $38.22, which was good enough for a return of investment for 988% and a net profit margin of 68%. Without a doubt, hands down, this was the sale of the week. I have another brush popper shirt listed right now on my store, ready to go. It's had a bunch of people look at it already. I'm sure it's going to sell either today or in the next couple days. And then the short sleeve Wrangler snap button shirt, which was like a thinner material, that one's going to sell too. And it's a 5XL shirt. That one's a 5XL. It's just waiting for the right buyer to come along and nab it up. If you find any vintage Wrangler snap button shirts for a decent price, pick them up. If they're a thick material, I recommend doing the research to make sure and verify that they're a brush popper shirt, and you are going to make your money and then some. So before we get out of here this week, I just wanted to say thank you guys again. This has been an incredible journey from losing my job less than a month ago, and in 1 month of starting an eBay store, which I thought I wasn't going to get my first sale for months, and I got it on the 3rd day, and here I am 3 weeks into this journey, and I already have $1,264 in sales alone. And that's incredible to me. And I don't know why I decided to branch off and start this journey down YouTube. I think it's everything I'm doing in life. I'm wanting to get better every day and build something new, build new revenue streams to where I don't have to work for somebody else ever again in my life. I got college coming up. I'm starting that a month from now. July 1st is my first day at college, and I'm excited. And I just wanted to say, 2 weeks of doing a YouTube channel, I've got 108 subscribers and already over 1,200 views. And I can't thank you guys enough for watching this content. I never expected anybody to watch this. And the fact that you guys are tuning in and joining me on this journey and being supportive and offering great advice, it's truly appreciated. And I know how the online game works. I know critiques come with it, and I don't take criticism in a negative way. I'm about building better right now for myself and making myself better every single day. And if you have experience in any facet of eBay sales, reselling, YouTube, and you have advice to give me, know that I will never take offense to it, and I will always listen to everything everybody has to say. I can tell you that my processes around here change on a day-to-day basis. My inventory system has changed 7 or 8 times throughout this whole process. I started with one thing that was great, but then as I changed my business model, I changed my inventory system, and I have to relabel, reskew everything. Photo station setup, having a hard goods photo station here, and then right there is my clothing photo station. Learning the different things, textures, I like backgrounds, taking photos. So much I've learned about sourcing and having to pick things up, making sure the sell-through rate is good, making sure you're using your time wisely. Shipping, I feel I've come leaps and bounds on, and learning the different aspects of shipping to the point where now I have no fear of going into a free shipping scenario, knowing when to use FedEx and UPS over USPS. One thing I did want to talk about this week, coming back from Memorial Day, has anybody had any issues shipping packages with USPS this week? Because I've had a couple products that are in spots that are nowhere near their destination. 2 specifically, I have one that is currently, and I mailed it on Tuesday right after Memorial Day weekend. It's currently sitting in Las Vegas, and its destination is Idaho, which I think is weird. And then I have another one who is actually my friend who bought the headphones that I discussed last week on the show. His product is sitting in San Francisco, and he lives on the East Coast. Like, has anybody noticed any issues like that coming back from Memorial Day weekend? Just curious. If you have, leave it in the comments. And how do you guys deal with that? Because luckily, at least one of the products is a friend of mine who I talk to on a daily basis. And like, he's not upset about it. He's not going to like file a report of, product hasn't arrived yet. But I eventually will come to the day I am going to get a report filed on me for something that's out of my control. And I'm just curious how you guys deal with that. So if you've ever had that experience, leave it in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much, guys, for being here. I have nothing but love for everybody who comes and watches these videos. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And to see the growth week in and week out, it makes me want to dedicate more energy and time to editing videos, to making them better, to making them more entertaining. If I don't have an audience, this doesn't exist. I started this as a video journal just to chronicle my adventures and anybody who wanted to join in, thinking nobody ever would. And now that people are, you guys got me wanting to actually make a great product that is entertaining week in and week out. I'm also considering doing like midweek live stream, like a Wednesday night live stream, and do the majority of my sourcing on Wednesdays. And I was thinking maybe Wednesday night, after I'm done sourcing and driving all around, I come in with my haul and then just do like a Q&A, show you what I got for sourcing for the week. If that's something you guys would be interested in watching and like maybe I should do, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. You don't have to, but it is truly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for joining me for week 3. Have a great week, everyone.